Round 1 action, Triple M footy, and the Saturday rub off to a flying start, of course. A slightly shorter rub this year, 145.
Oh, a quick
It's
rub.
145, exactly. 145 Damo, us, every Saturday all year, or is this, are we going to get ever back to 210, or what happens?
It's not, as far as I know, all year, JB, but it is largely.
All right, so Andrew Demetrio to join us, Mark Neild as well.
I'm a little bit flat. We talked about a team. We're very close. I just found out that one of our members here's father trained a winner at $22.70.
Yes.
Bendigo Trots.
That's it.
Oh, Stixie.
No, that was the Pancho, and none of us heard about
No,
it.
he did. Big Panch, $22.70. I fell asleep. Forgot to put it on.
I've lost one finger by texting that Harvard tips the last 3 years, so he didn't mention to say, have a little something on
Did you
it.
just hear me? I fell asleep. I was about to wake and give you all the heads
Oh,
up.
were you?
Yes.
That's what you were doing.
I fell asleep.
Now, we need to... Spud interests me, Damo, because I don't know where he's been at. I don't know. He's sort of... We just heard with the last break how he's a bit unhinged. He's a bit loose.
I am.
But I know you've come across something that interested you enormously with regard to Spud, and I want you to tell us what it is, because until we get this out, the tension in the box is going to stay, I think. So...
Well, I was given during the week by someone who shall remain nameless an article from an Irish newspaper back in 1987.
Yep.
And it's a first-person piece written back in 1987 by a very good writer, you can tell. And he also happened to be playing for Ireland in that particular week against Australia, involving Danny Frawley. And
you were playing Spud.
Yeah, in 87.
I see.
so it's a really well-written piece. It's a very extensive piece, and we'll just sort of look at a few pieces of it. He opens up this article, which is on the back page of the Sunday Press in Ireland in 1987, with a quote, and it says, "What you going to do about it? So what you going to do about it then?" Danny Frawley was shouting to me. That's the first line, Danny. So it goes on. The man wanted to fight. Several Australians and a couple of Irishmen were holding him back. Finally, he shook them free. "What you going to do about it?" he continued, fists clenched, waiting for the bell to sound for round 1. So we're dealing with an amateur footballer here, guys. He was clearly a journalist by trade and playing football part-time. And, so he goes on. He goes on. At the end of the first quarter, Ireland had fallen well behind. I was moved from midfield to full forward, where Frawley was waiting. So he goes through a few paragraphs there by describing the jostling and the scragging, the punching and the taunting of Frawley, and he's appealed to the referee, got nothing from him. We'll just sort of fast forward through the article to a reference in the third quarter where he has basically gone to the ground. So he picks up the article here. I then tried to get up. Frawley had me pinned, and it took a while to break free. Damn it, I was getting frustrated. So he again asks for the referee for some intervention. Nothing came. There's nothing left to do, he writes. Another ball comes in. I am lying next to Frawley on the ground, and he continues to hold me. Getting up, I kneel in his stomach, and I swing a fist across his arms. A warning shot, I thought. Frawley seemed to take that as a declaration of war. Once on his feet, he swings a couple of times in my direction, and I block them away. He then just keeps going in to describe this incident, and then comes up with this to round off the incident. The ball came down again, and again I got another fist to the back of my head. I had to give up after that. I chose not to go to the ball after that, as he kept asking me, "What are you going to do about it?"
Well,
So you clubbed Spud. You clubbed an Irishman.
That was
into submission.
Submission.
That was actually the Irish Times, Damo, and that was
Sports Writer of the Year, this man.
That was the morning of the third test, Gaz, and as you know, you've coached over there.
Never like that.
I had the IRA in the forward pocket, wanted to blow me legs off. That was the morning of the last test. That article come out, and the first time in my life, I thought I don't want to play because that was the whole talk.
What are you going to do about it?
Well, look, Liam, I've never met him since, poor old Liam, but...
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. At Jimmy's funeral on Tuesday, there were a strong Irish contingent, as you'd expect, and Bernie Flynn came up after he flew into Australia. Now, he was going to join us today, had to go back, unfortunately. His daughter got a bit crook, but he also played on New Spud. He didn't go down the violence path, but gee, he was glowing in his praise for you.
Well, he's a great man, Bernie. I think Liam basically was no good. He could say I was brutality and physical, but I was more skillful. That's what he didn't put in there. He didn't put in the fact that I was very skillful. I did feel a little bit embarrassed about that, Damo. Where did you dig that up from?
Someone sent it to me, Danny. It was
it Bernard Flint?
25 years ago.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know about that one.
But something that is a little bit more recent, Danny, was over summer on another radio station. There was an exchange of words or an interview with Matt Finnis of the AFL Players Association with leading columnist and leading thought provoker in the AFL, Patrick Smith. And so what we're about to hear right now is Matt Finnis, who heads up the AFL Players Association, being asked questions by Patrick Smith about your good self.
Talking to your friend Danny Fowler the other day, Patrick, and he mentioned there might be 150 coaches on the books of AFL.
What was he wearing, Matt? Did he have a wig on? Did he have a dress? What was he doing? Was he wrestling Jason Dunstall to the ground?
Patrick, the game
on his tights. You didn't smear his lipstick, did you?
But unfortunately for you, Danny, that is what people are saying about you as head of the Coaches Association these days.
Well,
your credibility.
Okay, that's what Patrick's think. What do you think? I'd like to know what you think.
Oh, that's a good question.
I know you well, and I know you. Look, in honesty, I know you do a very, very, very good job. And I don't want to be blowing too much smoke up.
No, I don't want you to.
But, I would be saying this if you weren't here. You do a very good job at the Coaches Association, and I do agree with that. So, but others don't think you do. Others think you've lost the plot.
How old's Patrick?
Late 50s,
he's a very respected.
What are you getting at, though? It doesn't matter.
Well, I think you should be able to divorce the two. I think James is and I don't want to put him in, he's a North Melbourne president, but sometimes on the footy show, and after the bounce, we do things for that show. Now, I would have thought after the bounce has got a point of difference in a lot of the shows because we don't talk footy much. We carry on. We take the PISS out of each other and we hang a lot of crap. And it's one of those shows. So Patrick's obviously got a vendetta with me, and I don't know what it is that he's got.
I'm vendetta?
Not sure it's just you.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's something personally that I've done. I don't know. Maybe
it's a sore point, though, isn't it? Okay. You're bristling right now.
No, I'm not. But you need to ask Patrick during the week what's he got against me. And I'm quite happy to have a chat to Paddy at some stage.
He's got boy. A little bit, hasn't he?
What's that?
It does hurt you, though, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't hurt me at all, mate.
Skin a little bit.
No, he hasn't, JB. I'll tell you, when you coach the Tigers for 5 years, mate, that takes all the... I'm just bulletproof. I am. I'm Butch Cassidy, the Sundance Kid, mate. I just cop bullets, and I tell you what, I'll still get up, and I'll just give it. I'll just lead with me chin, and I'll get knocked off, and I'll just keep getting up. So bring it on, Paddy. Give us your best shot, mate.
Take a few down with him. I'm right with you, too.
Oh, you should be, too. Worry, I was waiting to see which side of the fence you're going on there.
Mate. You've got to be able to have some fun in life.
So, Mr. Binocular Head here.
Binocular head.
Oh, magnifying glass for eyes. Actually, what prescription are these? Are you legally blind?
Yeah.
You've just spent 10 minutes of the listeners' time trying to take the crap out of me. It's game on now, sunshine. Is that all you've done? The number one newsbreaker? Trying to bring me down? Where'd you go?
I reckon Patrick Smith has
the boss
right up in, so we need to just straighten up.
Straighten up.
Don Footy Franks, you're listening to the Saturday Rub. We've got the Brisbane Lions up against the Melbourne Demons.
Lead balloon, Damo.
Andrew Demetriou, the CEO of the AFL, to join us next.